Hi there, brothers and sisters from YouTube and all over the planet, from Brazil too. Thanks for watching me again. So today I'm gonna go quite quick, I guess, because I'm just gonna talk about a simple subject, which is the contractions in Portuguese language. Well, let me say first that contractions, in my opinion, are one of the most important and useful features for any language all over the planet, because we as human creatures, we have a tendency to try to make the things more simple than they actually are. So on this attempt to simplify things, we go all the time cutting down unnecessary parts of the words, and some of these unnecessary cuts are quite fair, some of them not so much, but anyway. So I believe contraction is quite important, and in Portuguese, in Brazilian Portuguese, it plays a immeasurable important role, I would say. So before I get it started, I would like to add that this tip is only for this contraction thing that I'm gonna be mentioning now. It's only to be related to the conversational aspect of language. I'm not saying with this that if you decide to write these contractions, it's gonna be wrong or grammatically incorrect or unaccepted or offensive or something of that nature. I'm not saying that, but I would recommend you to keep these contractions for their basic and original purpose, which is the conversation. Okay, the simplifying procedures for the conversation. The natural simplification of the things that we have. So that's my first tip. Let's move on. The first one is the to be verb in Portuguese, which probably I don't know, maybe a couple of you guys, or maybe many of you guys out there are not, especially English speakers, or may not be aware of the fact that the verb to be in many European languages, especially those related to Latin, such as Portuguese, Spanish, French, Italian, German. We have basically these languages, my language included, have basically two meanings as far as the verb to be is concerned. Okay, so we got so I can give you a quick example. We have a difference between the two sides of the verb to be in Portuguese now. Is that one? The first one is estar, okay, which is basically to be temporarily, okay, in a place or a position or in a feeling, mood, whatsoever. And the other one, ser, it's to be definite, definitely, something or someone. For example, I'll give you a quick example. If I say I am Brazilian, it's the second side, ser, right? Because I am Brazilian since I was born, and I'm gonna be Brazilian to the day I die. It's something everlasting, something unchangeable, something constant. And if I say I am here, okay, it means estar. So it's the temporary side of the verb to be, right? Okay, this is not the focus now to talk about this, but anyway, I just wanted to make this clear before we move on, okay? And also let you guys know that when we're talking about contraction of the verb to be in Portuguese, we're talking about only the first side of this verb, which is estar, because the other not that the other one is not worth contracting, but it has no popular contractions. It has no contractions as far as I know. So I'm gonna be focusing on the estar, which is the first side of the to be verb in Portuguese, right? I'll give some some examples in sentences. Two examples to be more specific. First one. Ele tá jogando futebol. Ele tá jogando futebol. Ele tava correndo no parque. Ele tava correndo no parque. Okay, so you can notice that the verb to be, estar, turns into tá. Okay, tá is it's present tense, right? And tava, it's past tense. Okay, it's present continuous, past continuous tense to be more specific, right? It's important to say that the Portuguese and Spanish, because they are almost twin languages, especially in terms of grammar, are quite rich in conjugations. So don't mind if it gets a little bit hard to explain some points that are quite simple, are expressed in only one word. Okay, it's natural because of its richness, of the richness of the conjugation on these languages, right? Just one point. So tá is quite used in a lot of chunks and sentences and common expressions in Portuguese. So you're gonna hear and see, probably even read a lot of this contraction, okay, which is quite natural. So it's just quite popular. You probably have heard or seen anywhere this contraction. So is this first one, and also I'd like to say, added to this point, that I don't know if you agree with me. I believe so, but since every language has its contractions, especially when colloquial language is applied, it demystifies the language to know these peculiarities, you know, these small things, these small natural contractions, you know, natural ways of simplify the communication in the language. So it's quite important to know. So anyway, bear in your mind that tá is from the verb to be. Okay, you're gonna see this in a lot of expressions in Portuguese. I'm not gonna mention any of these expressions, but you probably know which ones I'm talking about. Well, the next one is not so charming, I would say, and it's not so popular. I believe you probably, as a Portuguese student, have never heard about this one. I'm gonna go because it's not, as I said, it's not so charming. It's much more natural, you know. Maybe it's so natural that I can assure you that the vast majority of the Portuguese speakers don't even realize that they speak this way. But anyway, I believe it will be quite fair with you that is learning Portuguese to be aware of this peculiarity, as I said before, which is much more peculiar than the verb mentioned in the first part, right? Which is a conjunction, okay? The conjunction com, okay? The conjunction com is with, okay? Well, a point is, we refer to people in Portuguese to subject, you know, to people as subjects in a sentence as a direct subject. That is, I don't say, for example, Roger é meu irmão. I would say o Roger é meu irmão. You know, so we got this name Roger, right? It's a name, but which in English would be Roger is my brother. No, I would go just o Roger é meu irmão. Okay, so if it's in the feminine side, it's Mônica is é minha irmã. A Mônica é minha irmã, for example, which is Mônica is my sister. You know, so we have this article referring to the subject before it goes. I mean, this is not 100% used in Portuguese. It's important to mention that there is a part of the population, especially in north side, especially also in Portugal, sorry, that uses this indirect, subject, that is no articles involved. But since you consider the vast majority, which uses the article, especially in the South, São Paulo, Rio, you got to be aware of this mysterious condensing contraction, right? Which is com o, com a, okay? With the article, masculine article, with feminine article, right? We don't say o, com o, or com a. At least if we are being colloquial, if we are being regular, we wouldn't go like that. So let me give you a clear example right now. Eu trabalho com meu pai. Eu trabalho com meu pai. Did you notice when the conjunction com and the article o encounter, they mix together in the conversation? Of course, I'd like to emphasize this again. Don't use this in writing system, otherwise it's gonna get a little bit weird. But in the conversational aspect, in the colloquial sentence, in colloquial pronunciation of a sentence, they encounter. The same thing happens in a little bit more quirky way with the feminine article. Check this example. Meu pai viajou com a minha mãe. Meu pai viajou com a minha mãe. Okay? So, you see that com o, co. Com a, ca. Okay? So keep this in mind, this aspect, and try to select a few phrases with this conjunctions, com, with this conjunction com, and the articles, and the respectable articles, and keep yourself practicing a little bit of this pronunciation, but as I said, as I gave the example, mixing the conjunction com with the articles, masculine o, feminine a, right? Try to get, I'm saying this not mostly for you to speak like that, because if you're learning, it will not make any difference the way you pronounce actually, but mostly for you to not get lost when you hear people having a colloquial conversation, okay? Which is, everybody knows, quite frustrating, by the way. The last one is with the pronoun, the personal pronoun, você, okay? You, right? We have a very popular and somehow quirky contraction, which is to cut this word by half. So now you got the word você, the personal pronoun você, turn into se. Okay? One example. Você conhece meu amigo? Você conhece meu amigo? Okay, this is the last one and quite popular, so remembering, está, tá, com o, co, com a, ca, você, se, right? So try to keep these examples, these contractions in mind, and I assure you that you doing this, practicing these points that I have mentioned, not only these ones here, but any type of contractions that you hear. One good recommendation is read songs, watch movies with the Portuguese subtitles, so you can locate yourself in the place between the words, the way the words go combining with themselves, in a whole context, the way the words morph, I would put it this way, and I assure you it's going to be quite useful, especially in terms of understanding colloquial spoken language, right? I hope you have liked this video. Keep up for some new ones, and thanks for being a wonderful person. I'm sure you are. Thank you very much. Comments, critics, and any other sort of words down below, and thank you very much. See you guys soon.